All right, all right, all right. How are you folks doing this morning? Yeah,
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
it's going. Okay.
Okay, we're
I
going.
always hesitate because until I can see the number rolling.
That's right.
What's the date?
Today is October 14th.
And it is 7:45 on a Saturday morning.
It is uh the day after Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah.
That reminds me, here we go. But there was a spoof. It was like a satire, and it wasn't a scary movie. It was a spoof. It was like a comical, and it was called, instead of Friday the 13th, it was called Saturday the 14th, and I just now remember that,
I
and
never
I
heard of it.
thought it was hilarious.
Saturday the 14th.
Saturday the 14th.
Well, I didn't even realize. I mean, I knew on the 12th that the next day was Friday the 13th.
Right.
But yesterday, it never crossed my mind.
It
And
didn't. It didn't cross mine either.
I'm glad it didn't. Because I would have been like, anything that happened, I'd have been like, oh, well,
That's why.
That's why.
Oh, yeah, it's called Saturday the 14th. Do you guys remember that movie? I think it was like a low budget. Just, I don't know. It wasn't something that was
Mass produced.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it was, but it wasn't like no big mega hit. It was, but
That's kind of funny.
it is kind of funny. I just now thought of that. Saturday the 14th.
Were you a kid when
Oh,
that?
I was a kid. Definitely a kid. I think that came out probably in the mid 80s, I'm guessing. Yeah, it was it was that's funny that I just
Well, you thought of that when you said October the
I did.
14th.
I did think that it was a funny movie. See, somebody else saw it. D did.
And they said it was a very funny movie.
It
Well,
was.
maybe you and me and Paul should watch it.
You know what? And I've never seen it pop up ever again. But I'm gonna write that down. Maybe we can find it.
Yeah, right. Whenever you're looking for something, it's not available.
Yeah, that's when you gotta rent it.
Yeah.
Whoo! Good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to say this though. We got little over 2 inches of rain.
Don't even start what day it was.
A couple of days ago, and since then, the sun hasn't been out at all, and it has been just kind of gloomy and just a misty, off and on, no hard rain at all, but it was just mist. But I know the ground and everything's loving it.
Yeah, for sure. Yesterday afternoon, you were editing, and I was on the tractor. And when you're on the tractor and it's misting rain, it feels like little needles sticking in you.
Yeah.
And so it would come and go throughout the afternoon, which it was, I think it was like 30% chance of rain. Right. I don't even consider that rain. It was just a nuisance, so to speak. I wouldn't consider rain to be a nuisance, but this was kind of a nuisance.
Yeah.
Because you were just uncomfortable,
It was, I had to finish up my kids video.
That's when it was.
Yeah, which I record throughout the week with it some, but I had to finish it up the last couple of days. And if you guys watched it, if you haven't watched it, the kids video did come out this morning. It was pretty fun. And one part that I had the time lapse on, the lens just gets covered in water. And I remember telling you, I guess I got to get my camera out of here. And you really couldn't tell it was really raining.
No, until you like started driving on the tractor or something. Then you could, feel it hitting you in the face. That's when it became a aggravation.
It was aggravating. So I got the camera out. But you guys have not seen the kids video. It did come out this morning. So after the live, you guys can watch it. Or if you got children or grandchildren, be sure you guys catch it. It is about pumpkins and which animal on the farm could actually help us carve a pumpkin. And we also went around to all the animals to see if they would like pumpkins. And it's pretty fun. It was really fun, especially when we get to Gus and Loretta.
Well, I I was doing some work
Yeah.
while you were editing,
Yep.
and I'm going to where the geese and nugget are now, and I was like, what is that in the pasture? It's not plastic. What is that? And I realized it was a piece of pumpkin.
Oh, it's funny. It was fun to make too. They had a good time on that video. So you guys be sure to check it out on Cog Hill Farm for kids.
Like this.
There's our new shirt. That's right.
And you got a new shirt on
I
too.
do. This is the fall Halloween shirt that we got out. It's got our animals on it. So you guys be sure to check it out.
I realized this morning when we saw each other, we didn't get dressed at the same time, but we have the opposite thing on that we had on Tuesday.
Yep.
You had on the kids. I had on the Halloween.
Mine says, did someone say treats?
Mine says Cog Hill Farm Kids. How about that?
Oh, but I am happy of the weather. I'll take it. We needed it so bad. I noticed that the pond had gotten extremely low, but I guess it would eventually keep going if, it just evaporates out. But it did fill up just a little bit. Not a whole bunch, but it did fill up just a little bit.
So ever since the boys were neutered, Bandit hasn't been wet, which I'm so glad of because he didn't need to get his stitches wet. And I think the reasoning was because the pond was so low that he couldn't, he didn't find it appealing. So yesterday when we were out working, or yesterday or day before sometime,
after the rain, we heard it.
We heard it, and it was not just Bandit, it was Holly and Bandit.
Oh, of course, my goodness.
Rocky doesn't like to get wet. And I want to say something. I put out a video on Thursday.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't edit it or anything, but it went out on Thursday.
That's right.
And it was about the livestock guardian dogs. And a lot of people said I needed to brush Bandit. And so I want to address that. And I should have before now. But y'all, first of all, Bandit hates to be brushed.
I mean, but Rocky loves it.
Rocky loves it. Okay, so Rocky gets brushed. His hair looks good. Another thing is Bandit is the one that gets in the water. So his hair, he's the one that needs to be brushed.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that he's the one that won't sit for being brushed.
But isn't that amazing? That is so fascinating to me that these two pups are brothers and they are puppies. And Bandit loves water. Rocky could care less about water.
He doesn't get his feet wet.
No. Rocky loves to be brushed. Bandit can't stand it.
No, you can't hold him. He will fight you to be brushed, which is not a good thing.
Crazy to me.
Because we're going to have some issues, as time goes on, if his hair being matted and whatnot. But we do the best we can, and that's all anybody can ask for. So I wanted to let you guys know why his hair looks the way it does. It's no neglect on our part. You guys should know that. We take care of our animals, but he weighs, how much did he weigh?
93.
80, was it 93? He weighs 93 pounds. And even though I weigh more than that, it's hard for me to restrain him.
Yeah.
And even with Jason's help, it's just, he doesn't like it.
He doesn't like it. Now that I think about it, when they were puppies and we gave them a shower, one of them just sat right there in the shower.
I think it was Rocky, wasn't it?
Rocky enjoyed the shower.
But Rocky didn't like water.
But Bandit did not like the shower whatsoever. So it's just so fascinating and neat to me that they all have their own little personalities and they're brothers.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know, it's just pretty, I just think that's fascinating. It just fascinates me. Ooh, I got a story to tell you though. I saw him on here this morning. And I didn't tell you this because you had already gone to sleep.
Okay.
So I came in and noticed I had a text from Michael Key. And it said, "Can you call me?" And I was like, "Oh no, something's wrong," because it was a little late. And then it said, "Never mind, I got it." So I sent him a text back and I said, "Well, Mike," I said, "if you need me to call you now, buddy, I'll call you." I said, "I was, busy." And he said, no, not at all. He said, I went out there and I had a possum in my chicken coop.
Oh my gracious.
And I kind of didn't know what to do.
Oh goodness.
But his daughter's boyfriend caught it.
Oh wow.
And took it down the road and put it across the street.
Well, kudos to daughter's boyfriend.
That's what I told him. Michael said that he's
happy too.
Well, he's happy, but he also was impressed by the young man.
Well, that boy
said that's a star in his crown.
I was fixing to say that boy's looking towards the altar. You know, he wants all it.
He had to get them browning points.
He did.
He got them daddy browning points last night. I said, Michael, he caught the possum. He said he caught the possum.
Well, he could have ended up with a rabid son-in-law.
I don't think possums aren't they immune to rabies?
I don't know.
There's something about that.
I always thought they carried rabies.
I think they're immune to it, or they can get it and they don't have any effects of it. Does that make sense?
Maybe they can pass it on.
There's something there. I know that they can't get it and it affect them in any way.
Huh?
Yeah, they're.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, but they may be able to bite you and you get it. But he caught it with a fishing net.
Oh, that's even better.
Yep.
I'm glad you explained that part.
Yep. He caught it with a fishing net. So, possums do not have rabies. I knew there was something about that. They can't they're immune to it.
But can they pass it on? I wonder.
That's what I don't know.
They do not carry rabies. So if they don't carry it, then they can't pass it on.
There you go.
So I wonder why you can't keep a possum as a pet. Because you would think that that's the reason raccoons can't be kept as pets.
I don't know. I'm sure there's some kind of technical jargon in there that,
Well, Michael's a fisherman.
Yeah, he's not a possum catcher.
He's not a possum catcher.
He is a bass catcher.
He is. He's a bass catcher.
Right.
And that's why he had the fishing net. But if that boy can catch a possum with a fishing net, just think of all the assistance he can offer Michael on the boat with a net. Michael can reel them in.
Ooh, Mike.
And this possum catcher, he can scoop them up and put them in the boat.
I think you're on to something there. Now, if this boy could catch a possum
with a fishing net,
he should be able to scoop up one of those 12, 15-pound bass Mike catches all the time.
He should be able to. You would think.
You would think so.
Well, that's a good sign right there. He's looking at it for the long term.
I see what Mike's doing.
No, well, the guy is. He's looking at it for long term.
But I see what Mike saw him catch it with that net. He was like,
We going on the boat tomorrow, boy.
Yes, sir.
Going on the boat.
Oh, Mike. It had me worried there for a minute because I thought something may have been wrong, but it wasn't.
Well, it was.
He had a possum in the hen house.
It could have been bad.
Yep.
It could have been bad because they will kill a chicken. And they will play dead.
They will. And they
play possum.
And hiss at you. And show them teeth. That's what I remember with a possum.
So if y'all didn't see my video, it was about the livestock guardian dogs and their response to a call that we played over a Bluetooth speaker. And it was of a coyote to see how fast they would respond. And you guys love, from all the comments, you guys love seeing them in action and wanted to know what they would do, in case there was a predator. And I think that showed how quick, I don't feel like an animal is going to come to the farm without being known first. They're, a coyote's going to be howling upon entrance or whatever. They're not just going to howl once they get in with the animal.
Right.
The dogs can get there before it becomes a problem.
Right.
Same with a fox. A fox is going to squeal, let themselves be known, and the dogs have an opportunity to run them off.
Right.
To ward them off. So you look in awe. I'm just going to hush.
I was waiting for Mike to say something. I was doing. Sorry.
I see my friend Catherine from G&G Farms is on here this morning. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning, Catherine. And I still have not made Catherine a moderator.
Yeah.
Sorry, Catherine.
One day in the 2025, we'll do that.
Something like that. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, the dogs are amazing. I will say that I didn't expect them to react that fast. And actually, that was I found a video on YouTube, and it was called Coyotes Hunting. And so they make that noise, I guess, when they're hunting. I guess I don't know if that's what it said. And they got there extremely fast, faster than I anticipated. But they never saw me. So when I heard them coming, I turned the radio off and went in the barn. So they never saw me. And then they came to the barn, of course, and there's Head Family Farm this morning too. Good morning, guys. And so I didn't want them to
know that you were with
them. I didn't want them to know that I'm the one that was making the noise, and that kind of stick in their mind and like, that's probably Farmer Jason out there making a noise, and there's no need for us to go over there.
So I was trying to think of something that would be entertaining for my video, and Jason and I were outside working on Nugget's fence that day, and all of a sudden I said, hey, I wonder if showing the dogs in action would be a good video.
Right.
So while we're out there working, I said, I'm gonna reach out to my friend Catherine, because she is also a nuisance nuisance, what do you call it, Catherine? Wildlife nuisance. She can remove nuisance wildlife from your property. Okay.
That's what it's called.
Yeah. So she actually has a business on the side where she does that. But anyway, so of course she's my first thought, and I reach out to her. Excuse me. And she says, I said, do you have any way for me to call a coyote? That's what I said. Call a coyote. And she said, yes. Do you need it? And I said, yeah. And that was it. She said, okay, you can come by this afternoon and pick it up. It wags its tail and it makes a sound. And I'm like, okay. So as we continue to work on the fence, I'm spinning my wheels and I'm thinking to myself, it wags its tail. I was wanting a coyote sound, but I didn't explain that very well. So before I can go get it, she reaches back out to me and she calls me. There it is. Nuisance Wildlife Control Specialist. Is that what it says? Operator. Sorry. See, I told y'all I can't see. She reaches out to me by phone and said, hey, are you wanting to call in coyotes? And I said, no. And she said, I got to thinking about it, and I didn't think you wanted to call a coyote. What are you wanting to do? And I said, well, I just wanted a coyote sound. And she said, oh, well, what I have is a rabbit that wags its tail and makes a distress call to call coyotes. And I said, no. And she informed me that if I had used that, I would have had every coyote in Chilton County on our property. And y'all would have seen firsthand
how fast the dogs would react.
How fast Brooke could react. So I'm glad we cleared that up.
Oh, yeah.
But, we wouldn't have done that anyway. But it was just kind of a funny that I explained it as wanting to call a coyote. So she was going to call a coyote for me. But in reality,
that's not what you wanted.
I didn't portray what I needed very well. So
we got it. We got it, though.
We got it handled.
We got it. I saw that Miss Rose wanted to know, how long have me and you been married?
23 years.
23 years.
June the 3rd was 23 years. But before that, we dated for 6 years.
6 or 7?
Maybe 7. Let's just say 30. 30 years.
Been together 30 years.
That's more than half our life.
That's a long time.
I always say we hadn't been together the whole 48 years. We're not brother and sister.
I saw Jacqueline is on here.
Okay.
And I do want to say that we've had a little bit of, I don't say issues, but we've had some people that get confused about checking out
with coffee
and things on our website. And so me and Jacqueline got together and she changed the wording on the website. And now
like that.
Yeah, she's so fast. And so now it should be a lot easier for those that were getting confused. And so if you were one of those that got confused and thought we only accepted PayPal only, that's not the case. So you guys can go over there and check it out now. And it should be more, or it should be easier for you for the ones that were getting confused about, we only accepted PayPal and Apple Pay. So
that's right. And you know, when I look at certain checkouts, I see that too. But those of you that don't frequently order on the internet probably don't realize that checkout button is actually to check out with another form of payment.
Correct.
So now it's easier.
It's way easier now. So it should make more sense for those that didn't understand it. So
yeah, you can buy the coffee with other forms of payment than PayPal.
Correct. So thank you, Miss Jacqueline, for handling that for us. And
thank you for not handling it. Thank you for doing everything else that you do, as well as handling that button.
Y'all have no idea what she does for us. It's a lot.
We probably okay. This is an example. We wouldn't be sitting here this morning if it wasn't for Jacqueline, because we would be trying to get website things going.
You're probably right.
If I tried to do it, you'd be calling a computer expert.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be calling
something.
Yeah.
Something. You guys may notice that poor old Ryan, the roaster's not on here this morning. He told me last night that he was going to work this weekend to get the pumpkin spice coffee back in stock. It had gotten really, 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 really low. I don't think we ever sold out, but I think we got extremely close.
I want to know from you guys that have tried the pumpkin spice coffee.
Yes.
What do you think about it? Because everything that has been sent through email and through reviews has been absolutely wonderful.
Well, they said Ryan is on here.
Oh.
Well, hello, Ryan. I looked for him earlier and I didn't see him.
There it is, Ryan the roaster. There he is. I'm here. He went away.
Okay.
It was in green. That's how I knew it was him.
Oh, okay.
But I want to know how y'all like it, because there have been some very, very bold responses in saying it's the best pumpkin spice they've ever tried.
A lot of people have liked it. Yes, absolutely. A lot of people have liked it.
Well, I'll say this. My mama, I asked her if she wanted to try the pumpkin spice.
Mm-hmm.
And this is her response to me. I don't like anything spicy. And I said, Mama, it's not spicy.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a flavor. It's not spicy.
Right.
I might try it sometime, but I just really don't like spicy. So we got to make her try it. We'll have to make her a cup.
I don't know why it was just not called pumpkin pie.
Yeah, that would make it, if you think it's like spicy, so as my mama did, it's not that whatsoever.
Right.
It's just a flavor.
Yep.
My voice went away on flavor.
Flavor.
But it's really good. It's not, some of the ones that I have had previously in my life are a little too much flavor.
Right.
But to me, this is subtle. It's just a hint of a flavor to give it.
Yeah.
Give it a little change.
I agree. I absolutely agree. So I guess it's a little too early for Ryan, the roaster, to be over there roasting coffee. I guess after the live, he's going to go over
He may be there right now.
He may be over at his shop right now.
You don't know that. He may be. He may be roasting and
listening to the live.
That's right. He's an administrator. He's got a job to do.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, Ryan.
I saw this. I told Jason this morning. I saw this. I've seen it on multiple people's Facebook page where they've shared it. Did y'all see where an employee of Starbucks leaked all the recipes for all the drinks? She got fired. I say it's a she. It could have been a he. And
go ahead.
I'm always roasting. She got fired, but y'all, you could click on the post and see every single drink recipe there was.
If you do, you may want to cut the sugar in half, because everything I've got at Starbucks is.
Well, here's what I'm thinking.
It's so sweet.
If y'all like it sweet, that's fine.
Right.
Don't use Starbucks coffee. Use our coffee. Use the same recipe that Starbucks uses, but use our coffee, not that Starbucks stuff.
I see Miss Allison from Handmade Homesteads.
All right.
Good morning, Allison. If somebody does do that, I would like to know if it's
legit.
Well, if it was good or not.
Well, I mean, it looked like it was on recipe cards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And probably behind the counter, they just flip it, when they're making a drink. And then I'm sure the longer you've worked there, you don't have to look at that card anymore.
I'm sure.
But it was kind of complicated.
Really?
The recipes were kind of complicated. At one time in my life, I felt like, oh, I would love to have a Starbucks, and I would go get one.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I drank it, I got sick. I felt like I was going to throw up afterwards. And no. And so
oh, man.
I continued to get it, but every time I felt like I was going to get sick. And so come to find out, it does my mama the same way.
Yeah.
When she has it, she feels sick.
Really?
And yes, the same thing. I mean, you love the taste of it at the time, but when it's over, it's like you feel sick. And I'm wondering if it's just the sugar content in it.
It may be. I saw Miss Sandra on here said it makes her feel that way too.
I don't know what it is, but it's not that I don't like it when it's going down, because it's good. It's a little much, but it's good. I just feel sick. I don't know. And then all the time that we lived in Selma, Selma is a town of about 25,000 people, but it's not an interstate town. So we didn't have the fast food restaurants and places that we have here in Chilton County, just because of the traffic. The interstate traffic makes all the difference when it comes to restaurants that are available and whatnot. In the process of us moving, they were building a Starbucks. And by that point, I knew that Starbucks didn't make me feel very good. And I'm so glad, because I saved a lot of money. I mean, just think if I had been a Starbucks connoisseur and they built that.
Right.
Oh, that wouldn't have been good.
Yeah, it's just too sweet for me. It's really too sweet for me. So how is our main man Nugget doing?
He's doing very well.
He's doing very well.
He's it didn't take him as long to get adjusted as what we anticipated. We thought that he's just everything is a creature of habit, so to speak, but him and something new is more so. He's affected by that more so than the other animals, I feel like.
Right.
And so I anticipated him not feeling comfortable for a long, long time. But it doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like he's settled in. And once the geese got over there, if you saw the video, you saw that we moved him first, and he was going up and down the fence. And then we moved the geese over there, and it's like, okay, my friends are here.
Right.
All is well.
Right.
So I think that was just a turning factor for him to realize, all my buddies are here. All is good. It's going to be okay. So that's the way I feel.
Yep. Another thing we noticed too is that when we moved the geese, we put the dogs, because they were trying to help. And y'all, even though Holly is technically a herding dog, and she does try to herd, but she ends up making things way worse because
she goes a little overboard.
She's not properly trained to herd. So we put the boys, and they get excited too. So we put the boys and Holly in Nugget's pasture. And after the fact, after we got everybody in there, and we were trying to get some stuff squared away, Nugget he did not like the boys or the dogs in his old pasture.
No.
So he was still thinking that was still his territory. And we ended up letting those guys out. And when we let them out, that helped some too. But he did not like, once he realized they were over there, he did not like them over there at all.
Well, if you saw the video, you saw that the trailer was parked right there. And that's what we initially thought that he was so invested in, was the trailer sitting there.
Yeah.
It had his attention.
Right.
Well, move the trailer out of the way, but he was still acting like something's wrong.
Right.
Something's wrong. And then Jason said, I think it's the dogs.
Yep. I think it's the dogs.
So there are no dogs in his pasture.
Oh, there's nothing in his pasture. Well, I guess the ducks could go over there.
Yeah, but that's typical.
Yeah.
The ducks are staying on their side. I know you told me yesterday they weren't.
There was 3 of them that were headed towards the barn,
but they didn't get in.
And I turned around and I ran in front of them and I turned them around and they went back the other way.
Well, ideally we don't want the ducks at the barn.
Right.
The geese are okay. That's totally different animal.
Right.
You know, people think of geese. I remember as a child, and I told Mary Carl this time and time again, and she thinks it's hilarious. But you remember when you're a child and you're learning your animals, and I don't know why I remember this, but I had such a hard time distinguishing a duck from a goose.
Oh, really?
As a child.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it was, but I just had a hard time with it.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'd rather the geese be at the barn than the ducks.
Right.
It's just a matter of just a messy thing. Geese kind of control their mess, whereas ducks.
Well, the geese are either domesticated geese, I should say, or not as they love water, but they don't love water like there's 2 different levels there. And the geese will, those big troughs we got, they'll go over there and they'll drink and they'll clean their nasal passages out, but they won't sit over there and get up in it and sit in it all day long.
No, they don't necessarily swim in it. They just won't. They're mainly after their essential, which is to clean that nasal passage out.
And if you notice, when we get the pools, they just wash off and then they're done. They get out and then they just walk around in the grass all day. They don't sit in the ducks will just sit in the pools and the waters all day long.
So the primary goal for the ducks is for them to stay where they came from, which there are pools over there. There's food over there. There's no reason why they need to come where the geese are. And honestly, Nugget would like for them to stay away from there, because there are times when the ducks get in there and he runs them out because he doesn't care for the ducks like he does the geese.
Right.
He kind of tells them, whoa, now the geese are invited, but you're not.
Yeah.
And we'll see him from time to time chasing ducks, and they go right through the fence and off they go.
Right.
So I don't know if you've had a talk with him and told him keep the
haven't had a talk with him. I don't think I have to have a talk with him about that. He usually handles that very, 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 very well on his own.
Well,
very much so.
Thankful for that.
Now, Michael Key just said that he always thought of as a goose as someone that you tapped on the head.
Duck, goose?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Michael's full of jokes. He's got a bag of them.
He is.
Oh, me. Oh, I was fixing to say something. Oh, so I've seen this pop up several times, and that is, why is it Nugget in with the goats and Mildred and Jesse? Number one is that it's the food situation. Nugget does not eat he's not like the goats and the cows and Jesse, where you feed them and they go eat and they're finished eating and then they leave. So a goose is much, I mean, a goose, emu's kind of like a chicken or a goose or whatever. They'll eat a little bit and they'll walk around, they do some stuff, they come back and get them a little bit, they come around stuff. So if we were to put Nugget and his feed in there, number one, everybody go over there and eat all of Nugget's feed.
That's right.
And all animals all have their specific type of feed. So, Mildred now has her own cow feed. The goats have goat feed. Jesse has an equine feed, which is for horses and donkeys.
And Peaches.
Peaches has a pig feed. And Nugget has a emu or rat type feed. So that was one of the main things that we were so happy when we built the barn, is that we were able to separate everybody.
Now, Nugget's emu food is fed in a trough.
Yeah.
And the geese can't reach the trough.
Right.
So the goose food is okay for Nugget to have.
Right.
And he does eat it. It's just a layer crumble. But he prefers his ratite feed, which is designed for him.
That's right.
So I just wanted to say that the geese don't eat the ratite feed all day.
So so food is the main reason that Nugget's not in there with them. Also, another thing that has always worried me about putting a Nugget in with the goats is that the goat pellets or the goat droppings or the goat manure would be very, very, very tempting for him to sit there and snack on all day.
Yeah, well,
And I really would not want that at all. That would worry me a lot.
And plus, he's never been with the goats.
No, he's never been with the goats, so that would be a little stressful for him to get used to those guys, for sure.
And it doesn't. I mean, we have enough property to where we can separate them. So if you can do that, then it's, I think it's best if especially for feeding different feeds, which we do. Now, some people feed just the same universal feed,
like an all stock feed.
Yeah, but we don't do that. We won't. We try to do the best we can for each animal, and and that's that.
Yep. So that's the main reason right there. It's feed, and then also I guess the second reason would be is that I would be worried that he would eat the goat poop. That would be something I would worry about.
I tell y'all, while I'm excited that Nugget and the geese are moved, everybody's moved. I'm excited about all of it, but I think it's going to be most exciting in the future to see when the pond ever gets full.
Oh yeah.
And we get finished with that fence around the pond, and we allow that gate to be open to where Nugget and the geese can have access to the pond and then back to the barn. I think that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I think that's going to work out well.
I mean, we realize it's a future project, but Rome wasn't built in a day, and you just have to look at it that way. We're still in contact with the well driller. He is working in the area, as we told you guys, for the next few weeks, and says he's going to stop by because we need to physically talk to him before.
Yes.
And he, I mean, people are busy.
Right.
We realize that. So his hometown is based a couple of hours away. So him just coming to our location to talk needs to be when he's coming by. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense. And our main thing is his location. Where do we want the perfect spot for it? And we want him to see our area and the layout and that kind of thing.
As you guys know, there are veins that contain water underground. And I know that those veins aren't everywhere. He's going to have to show us on the property where those veins are indeed. And where would be a good spot to put it, because it has to have power to power a pump. And then there's different things that we want to ask about. Could we tie into our main water system to use that for everything versus just filling up the pond? We want to make it worthwhile.
Right.
So lots of questions, and hopefully he'll make it by here soon so we can address those questions.
Hopefully it's really soon, because I'm really, really curious to know.
I'm very anxious to find out, because oh my gracious, to have a full pond is, that was our dream when we bought this property, was, to eventually have a pond. And we have a hole, but we don't have any water. So
some water.
One step at a time.
That's right.
One step at a time. Be patient.
That's right. Facebook. Are we ever going to go back on Facebook? It's probably just going to stay like it is now. Our lives, just post pictures, maybe some short videos, but actually our long form videos, I don't think we'll ever put them back on there. They've never helped us whatsoever. Our friends Daniel and DJ at Arms Family, they had an issue, and they lost. They weren't getting paid either. So I just don't see us going back on Facebook unless they physically send me an email or a message and say, "Hey, look, everything's corrected. You don't have to worry about anything." We're probably just going to just be strictly YouTube on our videos, and you can always check there and see. Now, I have seen some people say, "Well, I can't comment or whatever." YouTube's just like Facebook. You have to create an account.
But it's free, y'all.
It's free. It's totally free.
Doesn't cost anything.
Right. So you just have to create an account just like you would for Facebook. And that way you can comment on the videos.
Because what's happening is when we share a link on Facebook and you click on it, there's no way for YouTube to know who you are. So you can't comment because there's no username. There's no information in there. So I hope you guys understand that part of it and realize that I feel like if Facebook continues the way they are, it's eventually going to affect every creator.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just been crazy. Even, our friend Lester, who's, huge on Facebook. He's had issues here recently as well. So anyways, I just wish they would just get it fixed, but it doesn't look like they are. It really doesn't. They're just not creator friendly, and it's obvious that they don't care about us creators at all, or they would have it fixed.
I think their focus must be somewhere else, because if it was on creators, then it would have been fixed long before now.
And I know one thing that some people do is they'll watch it on YouTube
and go back to Facebook
and go back to the Facebook link and comment over there.
And there's a lot of comments on Facebook.
There is.
So we appreciate y'all that do watch and comment. And if you don't log in, that's okay.
Sure.
If you don't comment, that's okay.
Right.
Of course, if you want to, just create an account and log in.
And you also can watch the videos from our website too. So if any of it gets confusing, you can always go where, Brooke?
www.coghillfarm.com. Jacqueline made that so easy to where you can just go to the website and click on it. Now, you still won't be able to comment because you're not logging in under your own account. You're just using a link. But
you can watch it on our Facebook. Our website as well.
You can watch it.
Yep.
You can watch it. And we thank Jacqueline once again for making everything so user friendly.
That's right.
I told y'all time and time again, I have trouble with, computers, and I can do it. And if I can do it, y'all can do it. It's very user friendly.
Very user friendly.
Very user friendly. Jason told me the other day, he said, "Man, I love our website."
I do love our website.
And I got tickled, and he said, "It's awesome. It's awesome. It's just wonderful."
I do love our website.
It was kind of funny because it was just out of the blue. Our website is awesome.
It is. I do love our website. And I wanted our website to be an extension of everything that we do. And I wanted to put a lot of attention to it because, you usually go to, websites and they're just kind of boring or confusing. And I didn't want ours to be like that. And I want ours to be refreshed and changed. And we do change it up several times a year to make it fresh and a fun experience to go to.
Well, we want you guys to think in your mind, I can't find that. Yeah. We want you guys to say, oh, I can go to their website and go to the website and find anything you want to, from a link to a product to, to watch a video.
That's right.
And that's the way it is now. It's very user friendly, and without Jacqueline, it wouldn't be.
So if you want to know anything about us, where our merchandise is, where our coffee is, any updates, any events we're going to be at, that's all on our website, which is
www.coghillfarm.com. Try to make it easy to remember too.
That's right. So
just don't forget the www. That's important.
Speaking of events, that's right. That's important.
Next Saturday,
guys, we will be in Vernon, Florida at the Sunflower Festival.
That's right. Gina at Black Barn Blossoms has done a great job with updating information.
That's right.
On her page, which is Black Barn Blossoms.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to spell it like I always do, but anything you want to know about timing and what, what's happening, it's on her page. So y'all be sure to check it out.
That's right.
It's
going to be fun.
We're going to be there. And hopefully the weather will be nice.
Knock on wood.
Florida's most always nice.
Most always. But you always can, Florida's known to have those little pop-up showers.
That's right. We're not going to let that hurt us, though.
Yep.
We're going to have fun. So hopefully if any of you guys are in the area and would like to come, we'd love to see you.
Absolutely.
We would love to see you. We're going to drive down Saturday morning, and we'll be there that day.
Yep.
So fun times.
Oh.
It's only about 3 hours from us, so that makes it an easy, quick trip.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Yep,
I'm excited to see Black Barn.
Yeah.
Black Barn. I'm excited to see what they have done with that farm, because she's a flower farmer and has a little retail outfit there at her farm, and it looks amazing.
It does.
We've never seen it in person, so it's gonna be a sight for us all.
And maybe I can sneak around and see some of Hank's toys.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you can sneak around and I can bring some of them home.
Oh, man.
We should take a trailer. I think that's amazing what he does.
It is.
It's called Hamiltonville Farm, and I didn't say will it crank, but he goes around and he pulls old equipment out of the woods and tries to get it running again, and that's amazing to me. Gina does amazing things too, but her husband Hank, on the other hand, has a totally different channel.
It blows my mind because I can't even get hardly anything started, and he just pulls. It could be like a bulldozer or a big dump truck or something.
Or a fire truck,
it's
for
crazy.
Goodness sake.
Yeah, it is crazy.
I remember the first time we met those two, we were in Milton, Florida. And that was, 3 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 4. 3 or 4 years ago.
Yep.
In Milton, Florida. And so Hank's telling us about, what he does and whatnot. And my question to him is, how do you get it to crank? And he said, well, there's 3 things that every engine needs: gas, air, and fuel. Gas, air, and what else? Oxygen, gas, oxygen,
fire.
And if you have those 3 things, then it's going to crank. It's going to crank. So
that's easier said than done.
I was fixing to say, if we have those 3 things, it doesn't crank.
It's easier said than done. You can have too much of one of those 3 things.
That's right.
And it not crank. So
Hank makes it seem easy.
Yep. That's right.
Be careful with the solar eclipse today.
That's what I was fixing to say.
Goodness.
Number 1, today is Saturday. We got several things going on today.
Yeah.
But we got college football today.
Right.
And they're expecting the eclipse to come through during the Alabama-Arkansas game today. And we should be able to see it here pretty good, but it's real cloudy here today. So that
we got to run over to Granddaddy's birthday party.
I know I was going to say that, gosh, I lost my train of thought. But it's going to be cloudy today, so I don't think it's going to clear up. It's been like this for 4 days. Have you looked at the weather?
Because I thought I saw that it was going to be sunny.
It is not sunny right now.
Well,
it looks like it has
it's early. It's 8:22.
It's been for the
something
last 3
like that.
days.
8 something.
Gloomy.
Let's see what's going to happen today.
Nope.
See? Well, it's partly cloudy.
Which is probably like it is right now.
78 for the high today here. 53 for the low. Sunny and comfortable.
That's what it says there. We'll see. It looks like it has the last few days, though.
I saw that the West Coast people were going to see it more so than anywhere else.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get a good shot of it.
I may be wrong. I interpret what I want to. I had to have seen that somewhere. I didn't just make it up.
You may have dreamt it.
Yeah, I may have. So today is not Granddaddy's actual birthday.
No.
It's on the 12th.
That's right.
And Jason called him to tell him happy birthday.
He did.
And he immediately said, what?
He said, are y'all coming to my birthday party?
Are y'all coming to my birthday party? So
he said, yes, sir. We'll be there.
We'll be at the birthday party for a couple hours this afternoon. And it's going to be fun.
Yep.
It's going to be fun.
Oh, me. The Eclipse. We should. Jacqueline's got it. She's on top of things. Should be about 70% here.
70%.
I don't know what that means.
Well, blockage.
Oh, okay.
70% block. And I guess maybe on the West Coast, it's going to be more so than that.
I got you.
Maybe that's what they mean is, see, Brooke is correct. It's a partial eclipse in Alabama and Florida.
Okay.
But it could be a full eclipse.
I got you.
West Coast.
I got you. That makes sense. We got some of those glasses from the last one we had here.
If you think we're going to find those glasses.
I even took a picture with Peaches having them on.
Yeah.
And Penny having them on when we had the last eclipse. That seems like yesterday, but that was
a while
ago.
I need a personal organizer, but yet again, I don't need anybody going through all my personal stuff. So I need a clone. That's what I need.
Yeah.
I need a clone.
Need a clone.
I would love it if I could put my hands on everything we needed. Seems like every time we go to find something, we can't put our hands on it.
Well, you know what? I think it's mainly because
we're busy.
Well, we're busy, and then the move, and everything happened so fast, and we just got.
Y'all, I have big vision about the old barn.
Yeah.
And one day it just came to me like a light bulb. I said we could turn the old barn into a shop.
We could.
We could put all of our tools in the old barn. Of
Mhm.
course, it needs a roof first. We need to get the.
Oh, we don't need glasses for the lunar eclipse. I saw people saying you needed glasses.
Huh. Well, I haven't heard.
Is it a lunar eclipse? This is a solar eclipse. It's during the day, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. It's during the day, so you wouldn't need glasses for the day.
I don't know.
Don't get me lying. I'm confused, but go ahead.
So I thought about turning the old barn into a shop.
Right.
And I thought we could have all of our tools down here and everything could be organized and we wouldn't have any, the garage can be the garage, which is for car parking. Let that be that. And then the barn can be for all the animal stuff. It's never going to happen. I might as well just forget it. It's never going to happen. We're never going to have time to get everything separated. So
maybe one day when we slow down.
Jason, it's not going to happen. I used to think that we would slow down.
But you know why? You know why?
Because life's in the fast lane.
We can't slow down. We never slow down. My mind runs 110 miles an hour a minute, and it hardly shuts off. It don't shut off until I lay down.
Well, mine doesn't either. But physical work doesn't stop either. Even though our minds are going, we're doing something all the time.
That's because our minds are going, and it gives us other ideas that we need to do here on the farm, and then just organization gets pushed by the wayside.
Well, it does, and it makes it hard when we need something because we then spend half a day looking for something that we know is here, but we can't find it, and then we have to go buy another one.
Well, here's my thing. Even if we were organized, I still couldn't find nothing.
Well, you and Mary Carl both, because I told her the other day that the syrup was in the pantry on the left, right when you walk into the door. Now, pantry, I can tell you where everything is in that pantry. I can tell you where everything is. Go into the. I said, Mary Carl, did you find it? Because she hadn't came back in all of 60 seconds. I'm looking, Mama. I said, okay. So I walk in there and she's literally staring right at it. And you do the same thing. You have a hard time, even if you're standing there staring at it, you don't see what you're looking for. And I think it's just a differences in personality. While that may be a fault of y'all's, you benefit in other ways that I don't. So
I got you. Well, and plus me, I'll lose everything. Y'all, I cannot tell you how many times that we're working on something. So like pulling the fence. I'll waste 30 or 40 minutes
looking for something.
And it like the pliers. I'll cut the wire on the pliers. Cut the wire with the pliers that we're working on right there. Set them down. And then we go to leave to the next one, and I can't find the pliers.
It's every single thing we do.
Every time we do something.
So even if I'm not involved in a project, I'm there to pick up and keep inventory.
It is. I don't know. It's because I'm thinking 40 steps ahead, and then stuff like that just.
I'll say, Jason, it's on the seat of the side-by-side. Jason, it's in that bucket behind you. But it takes two of us. It takes two of us to make a project work together.
So it is. I don't know. It's comical, but it's also frustrating. That's why right now we have 3 full-time measuring tapes. And we have to have all 3 of them.
I guarantee you we can't put our hands on one of them right now.
We have to have all 3 of them.
Yeah.
So.
And the crazy thing is that you will go, just say, to the bathroom in the garage, and you may find one of those measuring tapes sitting on the back of the toilet.
I can't tell you how many times a day I retrace my steps, and it's a lot.
Well, you lost a microphone yesterday.
I lost a microphone yesterday. Even like my shoes, or when I go to record, I'll come upstairs to get my stuff, go downstairs, go to record, and realize I don't have my shoes. And then I'll search the house for the shoes, and they're upstairs. I come back up.
Somebody said Jason needs a fanny pack. It would not help.
I need a big one.
It would not help.
I need a backpack.
So Here's what I've come to the conclusion of. A lot of y'all were saying we need to see more dancing. We need to see more dancing in Jason's videos. I've come to the conclusion Jason can't dance anymore because he goes up and down the stairs 150 times a day to get things that he's left behind, and his knees are gone.
Oh my gracious.
If I went up and I don't come up and down these stairs. This Tuesday and Saturday is the only day I come up here.
Oh goodness.
Every other day I'm on the ground.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be dancing
That's
either
funny.
if I came up here as much as he does.
Oh me. I forget a lot. I forget a lot of stuff. Oh gracious. My phone. I don't know. That's just anyways. I just do.
I wanted to tell y'all an update. Do y'all remember the video where I showed you guys that I was adding on to the aviary and allowing Mary-Carl's pigeons an area to go outside, but I couldn't get the roof on and I was so frustrated.
Yeah.
So guess what? I talked to Roberto. Roberto is our handyman that helped us with, well, everything.
Y'all know Roberto.
He does everything. So I got him over here and I showed it to him and he told me what I needed to order. And so I did. And this Wednesday, he should be, if he doesn't have another job,
right,
he should be able to get my roof finished. And he's going to build me some doors too, because the one that I built, I guarantee it weighs 65 pounds.
When I looked at it, and number one, you did an amazing job building that because you even cut angles.
I did cut angles,
and I was extremely proud of you. And I haven't told you that, but you did an awesome job on that door.
Well, I did. It's the heaviest door in the whole United States. It weighs 65 pounds. And there are no hinges in the world that can hold it up. So he's going to build me 2 doors and he's going to put the roof on. And I can't tell y'all how relieved I was when he told me that.
Well, he was here doing some little stuff for us. Some stuff that we needed done from... Yeah, how many times has somebody told us this? Don't move into that house or don't move into the house until you're 100% finished with it because you'll move in it. And those little odd and end things will never get done.
Number one, we had a handle for the front door that, well, we had the lock and the actual working handle, but there was a second handle that goes on the second door just to make
it
a
little fake handle. It'll make it look like it was
just to make it look uniform. Well, that didn't come in with the initial order for the doors and everything. And so it didn't get put on. It's been in a box. And Jason has said, I'm going to get around to it. I'm going to get around to it. Well, guess what? He hadn't got around to it.
Right.
And I know why. And you guys know why. So Roberto was here and I said, ding, ding, ding. Let's see if he can't put that door handle on. And y'all, he did it in 15 minutes.
We got him to do all kind of little odds and ends for us. The bottoms of the columns. Outside columns needed to have the trim work put on it. And he got those done. And while he was here, so the other day we went to Pedals from the Past, and y'all know
that was when we got the Johnny Jump Ups.
Yep, when we got the Johnny Jump Ups, I bought 2 roses called Lamarck, and it's a beautiful, like a tea style rose. It's a real close, small bloom. It's a repeat bloomer, so it blooms all year long, and I say all year long. Of course, in the wintertime, it's not going to bloom. But so I bought it. If y'all know the entrance of the Alabama parterre garden, I call it that because I've been told it's not technically a parterre garden, but it is an Alabama parterre garden. And that's where I got the 3 rectangles and the rose swag. Well, at the front of it, there's just a split rail fence there, and you walk right on in.
It was kind of plain.
And so I had some little boxwoods planted there that have absolutely done nothing. And so I'm like, I don't like these things.
They offer a good place for the boys to relieve themselves.
They've killed one. So I just don't like them. I don't like them whatsoever. So I thought to myself, I want to plant a rose on this fence because my roses are doing amazing. Guys, I don't think people know how drought tolerant roses are. I mean, once they get established, y'all, they are drought tolerant. And my roses are thriving. So I was like, I'm pulling these boxwoods up. I'm going to Petals. I'm going to ask Jason over at Petals, what kind of rose should I plant on this fence? And he suggested some. And I like the Lamarck because it's white. I don't have a white rose. And then it would match the pink and the light pink and the light peach that I already have planted. So that was my plan. Well, Roberto was here and a light bulb went off, y'all. And I haven't shown it yet, but I'm going to show it to you guys in the next few videos. Matter of fact, I'm going to probably do some garden videos with the roses and the fruit orchard soon.
I think it was behind me in my boys' video.
No, I edited it out. I don't want people to see it yet. I don't want people to see it yet. So I got him to build me this beautiful arbor leading into the parterre garden. And so not only I'm going to grow the rose on that fence, I'm going to grow it on this arbor too. And it's a big and
it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I showed him a picture of it and I said, hey, can you build this? So yeah, I can do that.
He can do anything.
And y'all, he had that thing built in half a day.
Well, it wasn't even a half a day. It was more like 2 hours. We were short on wood.
We did have to go get some more wood. Holes drilled, poles put in, concrete. I mean, God.
And y'all are talking about the hardest ground in Alabama. He had a helper with him, and he was literally using this thing that looked like a pick on the end of it, just going down a little and twisting, loosening the dirt a little bit at a time.
That's right.
But they got the holes dug because, as y'all know, the auger on the tractor will not drill into our hard.
It would have been really, you couldn't have put the auger right there because it was a planting bed and the grass, and he did it though. He's got some type of tool that looks like a giant chisel. That's what I think about. But
that's what I was talking about.
Huge, and it's solid steel. And they slam it in the ground.
And twist it a little.
And y'all, we can be inside. Like I was inside eating lunch, and he could just slam it in the ground, and I could feel it.
It just bounces.
I mean, you could literally feel it because the ground was vibrating. It was but he did get it done for us, and I'm so proud of it. And that's why I haven't planted the roses yet. So I want to plant the roses in the video and explain the arbor and all that.
That's right.
Stuff. Yep.
Somebody wanted to know, did you ever show the railing that you did in the house? Absolutely. Did a whole video.
I did a whole video on that. Yeah.
A whole video on it. I'm so pleased with it. It's beautiful. And Jason did it all by himself.
I even showed it to Roberto.
And what did he think?
He said, he looked at it, and I think he was surprised how simple it was, but how great it looked.
Yeah.
And he said, you did that out of 2x4s. And I said, yep. 2x4s and that flat metal. He said, it looks great. I said, well, thank you.
And Brant thought it looked great too.
He did. Brant thought it was awesome too.
So, oh goodness, we're happy to have some of those little nitpick jobs that were just weighing on our mind, and we knew we'd never have time to do it. We're so happy to have Roberto to take care of those. Because we had the wood for the bottom of the columns that had been sitting in the garage ready to be used, but we just didn't have time. I'm glad
he had time.
I'm glad you thought about it. You thought about that, and I thought about the door handle.
Yeah.
So we made different jobs come together. That one little, putting the wood around the bottom of the columns, he stained it, he finished it. And then the doorknob, that was a day's project. I mean, it would have took us a week.
Well, I had done 4 columns already. And no telling how long it took me to do those 4 columns.
That's right. It's just tedious. When you don't do that for a living, it becomes a, and they would just whip out a tape measure, take the measurement, cut it, boom, on to the next one.
Yeah, he's so fast. He's so fast and does such an amazing job on everything he does. And he's so dependable.
Oh, yes.
He's so nice. He's just...
And he lives right down the road.
He does.
He lives right down the road. So we couldn't be more pleased with his work.
Absolutely. And we could, if we were gone for a week for something, we would give him the keys to the house and tell him if we had these projects to do them, and we would trust him with everything. So
yes, he's
such a great guy.
Just a good guy.
Yep.
And he's not listening, so
no,
we're not talking about this because
he's not on here. I can promise you.
He's one of those people that just doesn't stop. I guarantee he's working somewhere.
I guarantee he's working somewhere too. He'd get here at 7 or 7:30 and leave by 5:30, and some days he'd even stay to 6,
depending on
whenever he wanted to finish.
Yes. Yep. Very, very good at his trade, which is carpentry.
That's right.
I think he could do anything. I don't think he could just do carpentry. I think he could do any. He's a painter.
He's a painter. He can do
He
sheetrock.
painted our whole entire house.
The sheetrock. He did the flooring.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We're lucky, beyond lucky to have him.
Our concrete guy, well, when we were looking for somebody to pour the slab for the house, Brant told us about Fernando, who poured the slab. And the concrete guy told us about Roberto. So it's just a community.
Somebody said that Simply Making It, our dear friend Laura, has sold over 700 Grinch soaps.
Well, I knew it says sold out.
And sold out. Isn't that something?
It's sold out.
That's awesome.
But just because she sold out of the Grinch soap doesn't mean y'all shouldn't check out Miss Laura's products, because
she may have some Dirty Girl soap in stock.
Well, she's probably got this no matter what. This is her lip shimmer, and I'm about halfway done. I love it. I love it. It's an amazing product. It keeps your lips hydrated and adds a little color at the same time. So check out Simply Making It.
Yes.
All right. Y'all done with your coffee?
I'm done with mine.
You were fixing to say something else.
I was going to close out and say that we had an eventful day, and I'm going to have to look and see if I can find Saturday the 14th, the movie.
Yeah, you need to do that.
I need to do that.
Maybe y'all could watch it this evening on Saturday the 14th.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
That would be fun. You probably won't find it, though. The Dirty Girl gets me every time, said Michael. Yes.
Go Dogs.
Is your coffee empty?
Mine is empty, y'all.
Mine is empty too. Is y'all's empty?
And I do want to say I hope your football team wins today. And I want to say this. If Arkansas does beat my beloved Tide in the next live on Tuesday, I will have to do the Sue Pig Suey chant.
I was sure hoping you weren't going to say I'll wear an Arkansas shirt, because I'm like, I'm going to be searching all over Alabama for an Arkansas shirt.
Oh,
you know that Nico wore an Oklahoma shirt.
Oh, he did?
He did.
Well, good for Nico.
I'm
glad he's a good sport.
He is a good sport.
He is.
But please don't make me wear Arkansas. Make him wear an Arkansas shirt, because I won't find one.
Not really.
I won't find one. Auburn maybe, but not Arkansas. All right, so y'all, I hope every one of you has a wonderful, wonderful day.
Yes. We're
going to party with a 101-year-old man this afternoon.
That's right.
And then we're going to watch some football. Well, not we. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not working on the aviary, I can tell you that, because Roberto's coming to do that.
That's right.
But y'all get your refill on your pumpkin spice, and y'all be good. Oh, I didn't toast.
You didn't toast.
Come on back. There we go. That's good.
We love you guys.